to Accountancy Learning's sample paper debriefs. I'm Sarah, and in this video I'll take you through the Introduction to Bookkeeping Sample Paper 1 Task 1. So Task 1 is all about manual and digital bookkeeping systems. In Part A, we're asked to identify which document or report would be used for each of the purposes below. We've got the options that we need to choose from, so you'll have the drop-down boxes in the exam. And our first one then is to summarise income and expenses and report performance in an accounting period. So we're looking here at income and expenses and performance. So when we're looking at how much income we've got, how many expenses have we had to pay out for, we're looking at whether we've made a profit or a loss. So this is going to be our statement profit or loss. The second one, to check that the total amount of debit entries in the bookkeeping system equal the total amount of credit entries. So when we've done all of our entries for a particular accounting period or any particular time, we can export a trial balance. And that shows us whether there is any differences in the amount of debits and credits. To summarise assets, liabilities and capital at a given date. So when we're looking at assets, liability and capital, we're looking at what is the state of the business at any given time. What position is the business in terms of its assets, liability and capital. So that means it's going to be on our statement of financial position. It summarises what our assets and liabilities are and what capital there is in the business. And then the last one, to remind customers of amounts outstanding and request payment. So this is a statement of account. It gets sent out to customers. It shows them what they owe and reminds them to make payment. Next we're told product codes for a range of clothes follow the format below. The first two letters of the product colour, first two letters of the product type and a sequential number for each product. The last product code created is shown in the table below. Part B wants us to create a product code for each of the two new products. So we can see we've got the last one here. So we've got brown shirts. So it's the first two letters of the product colour. So BR for brown. First two letters of the product type, SH for shirts. And a sequential number. So the last number used was 106. So it'll be 107. And then for red waistcoats, RE for red, WA for waistcoats, and 108 for the sequential number. When you're doing these questions, do remember to read the format carefully and follow the process that you're given. Part C is we've got some statements and need to identify whether they are true or false. So a petty cash book is always a book of prime entry, but never part of the double entry bookkeeping system. So this is false. So the petty cash is part of the double entry. It is an asset to the business because it is the amount of physical cash that we hold. So businesses have a small amount of cash that are used for small sundry expenses. So this has to be part of the double entry so that we can record the asset that we've got in terms of the cash, and then the other side in terms of either what's come in or gone out from that petty cash tin. A cash book is not part of the double entry bookkeeping system if there is a bank account in the general ledger. So this is true. The cash book is only part of the double entry if no bank account exists in the general ledger, but when there is a bank account, then the cash book doesn't form part of the double entry system. Part D, we've got a statement to complete about digital bookkeeping systems. So digital bookkeeping systems will, and we've either got reduce errors or prevent an incorrect amount being entered, and then but will not prevent duplication of errors or automatically balance accounts. So a digital bookkeeping system will, if we look at the bottom one, prevent an incorrect amount being entered. So that's user entry, that's our input into the computer. So that's not going to be right, but digital bookkeeping will reduce errors. But it won't prevent duplication of errors. So it means the error could happen again because the digital bookkeeping system won't necessarily prevent that from happening. Automatically balance accounts, well, the digital bookkeeping system will do that. It's one of the benefits of having it digital rather than manual. And that brings us to the end of task 1.